This story is about when my buddy sunk his truck in the North Saskatchewan River. Here's his truck here. Now, he had a small block in there, 383, all done up, air cleaner vented through the firewall into the cab. These trucks are made to go underwater. And this is my truck. I had a Chevy 502 big block in mine, the same motor that I have in my motorhome. Well, these big block Chevys have got a lot of torque, and I needed it because I was pulling quite a load with my motorhome. Now, the area we were fishing on the North Saskatchewan River was called Hog Alley because it was known for holding big fish. I caught a 15-pounder in there, and my son caught a 36-inch walleye that he proudly displays on his wall. There was huge walleye, huge pike. It was an amazing place to fish. And what it was a huge channel of the river, deep water, but it was calm water because what happened, they built the new bridge. They tightened the current to the north side. Now, the rest of this video is just about my quad, so you got something to watch while I'm telling the story. Now, Hog Alley was about probably a mile long, really, really wide section of old river, and was deep water. But on the south side, the actual river current intersected it. And there'd be 2.5, 3 feet of ice in Hog Alley. But when you went into the current, there was maybe a foot of ice, depending on the current. And Don went to turn around and drop the front end of it in his truck. Now, you look at our winches now, they're all on quick receivers. Most of the time, most of these trucks were set up with a winch in the front. And when he sunk that down into the water, he couldn't get at his winch. Now, we put them on receivers now, and they normally sit in the back of the truck. So if you get stuck and you got to pull yourself backwards, you just grab the winch and put it in the back receiver behind the truck, and you can winch yourself back out. And that was the mother of necessity when we started putting those winches on receivers. Now, Don is seriously stuck. So what we got to do is we got to try pull him out. But this is ice. There's ice everywhere. So as soon as I would try winch on him, my truck would just slide on the ice. Now, this is a picture of our winches from our quads. They're on 1-inch receivers. Our truck winches now are on 2-inch receivers. So same as your trailer hitch. Just go into the back, you just put it on, you've got long cables, and you run the winch that way. Now, what happened in this situation, we drilled a hole. I had a 10-inch auger, so we went ashore and we cut a big tree. We drilled a hole behind my truck and sunk that tree into the ice. Now, there's 2.5, 3 feet of ice in Hog Alley. And so I chained the back of my truck to this tree, sunk into the ice, and ran my winch cable out and hooked it to Don's trailer hitch. But I still couldn't move him because his truck was almost sitting straight down into the ice with the back end of the box sticking almost straight up. So what we did is we cut another tree down and we drilled a hole between Don and I, and we sunk another log into that hole. And what we did is we ran my winch cable over the top of that tree. It was up about probably 12 feet. And now my cable left my winch from the front of my truck, went to the little slot that we put on the top of this tree, and now we're pulling Don almost straight up. It was a pretty cool engineering feat because what happened, as soon as I hooked onto him with that tree being that high, it literally pulled him straight up out of the ice. And just an amazing bit of engineering for a couple of fools. But we ended up getting him out that way. There was no other way we would have got him out. He was sunk in that water and the current. You could not move him except we ended up pulling him straight up, which is pretty cool. Now, you've seen the videos where we go into the mountains and how we're set up because you have to be. I mean, here's a picture of the basketballs that we have sunk into our frame to provide flotation to make these quads float in the water. We have winch cables, we have tow ropes, all sorts of different things that we use. Now, the winches on those receivers is a game changer. And way back then, that's how come we started doing that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please donate to cancer. See you in the next video.